February 23, 2:15 p.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. Mr. Wright, so... what's going on with the case, anyway? I'm a little confused.
Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room.
What's this and the evidence room part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car.
Well, that's what we're going to find out. Or try to, at least.
Alright, let's do it.
Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this.
Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go. Science awaits us.
Science.
February 23, Prosecutor's Office, underground parking lot. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares?
Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie.
Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. That oil drum, was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. It's a lot of work to shift an oil drum. My sister? Erasing evidence at the crime scene? Never.
Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister.
And that's not it at all. It's just... we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her.
Big words for a high school student.
Okay, the only big word there was professional?
Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away.
Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright.
Huh? What's that grin for?
The situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid.
Luminol?
Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there.
But wouldn't the police have already done those tests?
Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try.
Me? Why do I have to do it?
I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet.
We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it.
Here, look, I'll lend you these glasses.
Huh? You had an extra pair of those things?
To test for a blood reaction, just spread the luminol on it. Like this, see? Press the A button to spray it on. Okay, let's find some bloodstains. Okay, well, car. Uh-huh. Examine.
I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So, is this a blood stain?
It's so...
Emma, you're shaking.
It's just... this is my first time seeing real blood.
Scientific investigation in action.
Okay, well, we definitely know this is a blood stain. But doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course?
What's odd about this, scientifically?
The amount of blood, definitely.
The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood?
I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe.
It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have to have been more blood than this.
Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna mark up the floor plans when we find the bloodstain, okay? See? I'm pretty handy to have around, right?
Yeah, and this stuff's pretty handy too.
I saved up my allowance to buy that.
Luminol testing fluid received from one very proud-looking MS guy. Solution used for scientific investigation. Finds blood traces. Spray to use.
We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case.
Then let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day.
Yeah! It feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it?
I guess I should give this a spray on anything suspicious.
Huh. I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Star! You only trust your own eyes, Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house.
Sorry, it's just that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering.
You certainly put me in a tight spot today.
My apologies, Ms. Starr, but...
No, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw the chief prosecutor, Sky, stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. Ah! I swear it on my honor as a detective, she stabbed Goodman.
I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what?
So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes. It was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up.
Coughed it up?
They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know. I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Every day I drag the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect, and before long they called me the Cough-Up Queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches.
And you were let go? Fired?
I felt that I'd found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident.
SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean...
She does. Suppose I present her SL9. What do you think about this? The SL9 incident? It's written on that knife. And on that note, Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really? That knife was evidence from that case. The murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet.
Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident?
I guess no. Same thing, right? try and do that. Okay, Is there anything else that I would show her? I don't think so. Okay, let's go ahead and start examining things, I suppose. Are there more places we can find blood? I mean, no clues here. That is literally the place where the blood was. This rope, is it? Yep. I laid it in the outline of the victim's body. So, wait. The victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. You've got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion. Hey. A block. This area is reserved for prosecutors. Defense attorneys are relegated to B block. I dream of the day when I'll be able to park my car here. I'll go over to B block to buy my hamburgers from you, Mr. Wright. I'm not planning on giving up my job that soon. That's about as red as a sports car can get. Yep, it's pretty red, alright. The body was found in Edgeworth's car trunk, and the lock on the trunk was broken too. So the question is, why did Miss Guy choose his car? Chose his car. Why did chose? So what model car is it? I think it was called a sedan or a coupe, something like that. Those are car types, Mr. Wright, not models. You're a guy, aren't you, Mr. Wright? You're supposed to know these things. Maybe it is about time I got my driver's license. Alright. And the fence that apparently she climbed. B block is through here. That's where visitors park. So, Miss Starr climbed over this fence? It seems so, yeah. That fence is 9 feet high at least. Well, no time like the present. I think I'll give it a little try. It's okay, don't cry. Maybe there's a Lunchland Olympics team? Yeah, she didn't jump over this. She did now. Look, a door. This must mean something. I'm not sure that doors mean anything. No, it won't open. A mysterious lock. I fail to see what's mysterious about it. Mr. Wright, you need to learn to enjoy life more. Let's finish our investigation first, shall we? Divider. So, this is the famous divider. It sure helped us knock a hole in that testimony today. Come to think of it, this divider helped our case more than the actual witness. The Great Divider. The chip off the old parking block. It's just a wall, scientifically speaking. Here, a phone. Let's see if it works. Hey, don't touch stuff we don't need to be touching. Can't hear anything. My ears! No, my ears! Maybe it's due to the barometric pressure. What is she babbling about? Hey, what'd you just say? See, you can hear just fine. The phone's broken. Aha! A ladder! That's a step ladder. What's the difference? In scientific terms, please. Okay, some of this we've already seen. Scientific, huh? Look at the basic nature of the thing, Mr. Wright. This all seems so horribly familiar somehow. A whole computer that's not interesting? I don't get it. What could it mean? This is where the cars leave the lot.
The arrow on the ground makes it look more like an entrance. What are you talking about? It's plainly an exit. Well, maybe it's both. Kind of a dual purpose. Aha! The theory of relativity. What? I've got to write this down. Hey, Mr. Wright, maybe you know. Was Mr. Relativity German, or was he British? Mr. Relativity, are you sure that was his name? Okay, we definitely saw that already. Okay, and I suspect it's both an entrance and an exit. I'm gonna check this barrel. Hey! So, this is the famous oil drum. Oh, no time like the present. I'll try to kick it over myself. Yeah! That's okay, don't cry. That Lana Skye must be one strong woman. Yeah. How much is 55 gallons of water weigh? Why am I guessing it's a 55-gallon drum? I don't know. But it's a large amount of... let's see here. A gallon is about 8 pounds, so... No, wait. About 16 pounds. Yeah, that's a heavy weight to knock over. No, it's 8 pounds. Alright. I could go different places. Let's go different places. Does Edgeworth want to be spoken to? February 23, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Well, this place is classy today as it was yesterday. And I'm sure it'll still be just as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here. I'm sure he's off doing important investigations. I hope that's what he's doing. I guess we'll have to come back. That a hint that you don't mind me examining things? And you really weren't going to tell me anything else? February 23rd, Detention Center Visitor's Room. Looks like Ms. Skye is in questioning. I hope the detectives aren't yelling at her. How did you kill him in 2 places at the same time? Can you imagine? How is she supposed to answer that? Oh, wait a second. Didn't Mr. Gant say they'd arrested a suspect in the police department murder? Let's come back later. Okay, so that taught me a thing. Or that, reminded us a thing. Okay, I don't need to talk to her. I don't think so. February 23, Police Department entrance. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. I suppose it makes sense. A detective did get killed here after all. So, the evidence room, the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk. Here it is. She's like a kid in an amusement park. Oh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look. Well, first off, you want to dance with the Blue Badger? The Blue Badger is still writhing around today. Well, let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's dancing. Speaking of dancing, the whole police department has been dancing around like crazy since yesterday. Can I take out his batteries? I just can't help but feel he's going to do something naughty. Look, that patrolman is saluting that other guy. He must be a detective. You idiot, what were you thinking? Where's your head? Oh, sir, it's right here, sir.
I guess he wasn't saluting. He was showing the detective where his head was.
They make a good pair.
Okay, so I go in here? Is that right? That's not how that works.
The detectives in there look pretty busy.
Just imagine, right now, behind those doors, a police drama in action.
Somehow the thought fails to excite me.
Oop. Hey! I know what buttons do things. Oh boy. February 23rd, evidence room entrance, guard station.
Oh, what's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric.
This is Marshall's room. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room.
So, beyond that door is the evidence room, the scene of the crime.
Sure seems that way. Oh!
What's wrong?
It's those cacti. They're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight.
If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. But I want to know, if this is a guard station, where is the guard?
I have a feeling I know who he is already. Is that a trap laid to catch anyone who tries to go in? Look, on the floor, a lasso.
Looks like it's set up to trap something.
A trap? Here? Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here. But the lasso missed.
You sure have an active imagination.
Texas. Alright, shenanigans.
It looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here.
There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says, recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of there.
We probably could.
There's a security guard uniform hanging here.
It looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly.
A leather jacket, leather pants, a leather... What was that called again? A punchy? A punchy? A pinchy? I know, a poochie. Wait, maybe that wasn't it.
It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information to myself for the time being.
What? Yikes, these sure are prickly. They must be the real deal.
I would think just one big one would be sufficient.
These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually.
Oh, so terrible. How so?
Encased in a cold, rigid shell with spines pointing in every direction. Just like her.
I'm not so sure I see the resemblance.
It's more an attitude thing than a physical similarity. Alright, okay. A little gate. This swinging door makes the place look like some kind of saloon.
But look, it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way.
Of course not. If you went in through here, the cactus would fall over. Ouch!
I'd say it'd be more of a yeah
myself. Okay. Tell me about the door.
The evidence room is beyond that door.
Let's just walk in. It won't open.
You thought it'd be open? I think we'd need someone's permission to go in there first.
Yeah. Alright. Alright. Criminal Affairs Department, find a policeman. February 23rd, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department.
Wow, everyone looks deadly serious here.
Oh, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department.
Yes, but the same detective was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot. He was only killed at one place. The guy was just bark, bark, bark. It makes my head hurt. Well, first things first. Let's go check out the police department crime scene. Yes, you sound dead set on investigating. But don't mess up or we could wind up dead. I doubt anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. But it doesn't look like anyone's going to help us much either. We've already looked around this place, but, does mean now we can go in and... Since we've tried it? Doesn't change. Okay, so let's go back to another place and see if another person materializes. If we go just to the right place. Actually, hold on. I mean, I don't want to check this again. We'll see if it would let me spray evidence, but not yet. Or at least not those ones, alright. Okay, still not here yet. Nothing important to examine. Oh. Detention center? No. That must be the chief of detectives. He's glued to his computer screen. What? Detective killed in the evidence room? Tell no one outside the police department. No, I told that old lady at the restaurant everything. Someone's getting a demotion. Well, that must be one of the detectives. He's mumbling something to himself. I know, the killer used dry ice. If you put it between the latch and the door, the room can be sealed shut. This is good. I'll win a writer's award for sure. He's not writing a report. He's writing a novel. Okay.